some of the vaccines that their children are getting protect them from both disease and create herd immunity. And some of them that they get are just for their child.
Am I kicked off everywhere?
Like H-flu and Pneumovax to protect their child from getting very serious illness. And we're just not explaining all of this correctly.
Well, and that's why the messenger matters so much on this, does. Which is why his past statements are being scrutinized.
I think I'm down everywhere. I'm down. Am I still up on Rockfin? I think I might still be up on Rockfin. I'm still up on Rockfin. So I got taken down everywhere but Rockfin. Am I down on Rumble? Sorry, guys. I'm trying to figure out where I am. Am I still on Rockfin? Okay, so I'm still up on Rumble. It looks like. Trying to see if I'm still up on Rumble. I'm live on Rumble. So if I'm still live on Rumble and Rockfin, we're just going to finish out the show here. I'm not even going to attempt to get back up on Kick or YouTube. Let me drop the link to the YouTube chat real fast. If I'm still up. I can't tell. Come on. Yeah. Okay, share. Copy link. Okay, we're going to get the YouTube or get the chat back over, get them to migrate over to one of the other channels that I'm still up on. I knew this show was going to get me. I told Oz I'm not even going to try to go live on Beauty and the Boomer. I am going to get hit tomorrow. And they hit me. Kick hit me too, but that's not YouTube strike. Yeah. YouTube got me but it wasn't even me that was saying this shit. It was their elected official. Holy crap. That's America, man. Okay, so I see you guys finding me. Hey, Amber, what's up? Yeah, in real time, we just got smacked around. I don't know how we're ever going to do a dive. That's too funny. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to share the Rockfed. Or unelected. Susan Collins unelected. Okay, so there we go. I dropped the chat. Sorry, guys. Join us on the other platforms. The show. Okay. We've migrated the chat over. I'm going to close that down for a second. Let me bring in some of the other chats now that I can see you guys. Hey, Rumble. Look at everybody hanging out on Rumble. Good to see you guys. You guys are so smart. You just all moved to Rumble. Holy crap. That's the highest number we've ever had on Rumble for the trailer park. So thank you guys for joining me. Okay, let's get the show on the road. Fuck YouTube. Fuck you, YouTube.
Baby.
What?
You're still live on YouTube, Beauty and the Boomer.
Beauty and the Boomer? I wasn't even up on Beauty and the Boomer, was I?
Yeah, you're live on it.
Okay, Al says I'm up on Beauty and the Boomer. That's weird. I've never even told it to go live to Beauty and the Boomer.
Oh, never mind. You're on Trailer Park Pundit.
Am I back up on Trailer Park?
TPP, my bad. I'm sorry.
Okay, I see myself on Trailer Park Pundit. That was weird. So, because I stopped talking about vaccines, they let me back up. I don't know what that was, but I got taken down from Kick and YouTube. Okay, let's keep moving. We're back. So, wherever you guys are and you're watching, I appreciate you hanging on. I've got mass replay going in my ear. Where is... trying to figure. Oh, there it is. Okay, I had double replay. Double replay. I want you to shut the fuck up. Yeah, that they did too. They wanted me to shut up. I don't know if that was. Why would I go down on just YouTube and Kick and none of the other channels? And I know I'm down because my main monitor that I monitor everything on is down. So they took me down and then they brought me back up. It definitely happened. Gaslighting. Anyways, let's move on. Apparently, we're not allowed to talk about that. Let's see if Billy Maher gets us knocked down. What does Bill have to say about the whole vaccines? Don't talk about vaccines.
People kind of look at you like you're crazy because I think they just are in this world of doctors know everything. And I think you're telling us in medical school you learn doctors don't. I always say, if they know everything, why do you always have to get a second opinion?
Well, if they knew everything.
You're saying it's an opinion. And by the way, the second one never matches the first one. They're always guessing. I'm not saying they're corrupt, although there is some of that.
You know, if they knew everything, then why would we be spending $4.5 trillion per year on healthcare costs and life expectancy is going down in the United States? Why are 80% of healthcare costs going towards chronic illnesses that are rooted in diet and lifestyle, yet at the vast majority of American medical schools, doctors in training are not taking a single nutrition course. And so you have to ask these questions. If we were crushing it, we would not be spending 2x every other country in the entire world and have the lowest life expectancy of any developed country in the entire world. We are the sickest of the top 11 high-income countries in the world. We have the highest infant and maternal mortality rates, and our life expectancy is 10 years less than our friends in Japan and Switzerland. Right now, according to the Journal of American Medical Association, the average American man in America, age 73 is their life expectancy. It is 83 in Japan and Switzerland. This is something we should all be outraged about. And only one party in our election cycle this year was talking about chronic illness. The words chronic illness, as far as I know, never came out of the Harris campaign's mouth. And I think that was a misstep, because Americans are, I think, tired of being gaslit about the fact that there's not a problem right now. And when we look around us, and we know there is, and Trump has asked RFK to do 3 simple things. He's asked to get the corruption out of the U.S. health agencies, produce uncompromised evidence-based research for our health guidelines, and reverse the trends of the chronic disease epidemic in 2 years for children and adults so that we can show up for our 250th anniversary of America stronger than ever.
Okay,
that sounds pretty good to me.
250th anniversary. That's going to be a fun party. Trump has already said it's going to be a total blowout, right? He's going to throw a dictator type party. Jilly says the rich live 12 years longer than us. Most definitely. They can afford to eat clean. They can afford to go to a doctor who doesn't gaslight them and give them just tons of big pharma, right? A lot of them. Do you know, I heard that Billy Gates didn't his own family, but he wants you to get your family, make sure you have all yours up to date, right? Yeah, we did actually go down, and the original stream went down, but we popped back up on the live part of the channel, so I don't know how the hell that happened or what happened. Kick definitely took us down. We're down on Kick right now, so not like we get a lot of viewers on Kick, but yeah, they didn't like what I was talking about because I don't have an internet connection problem. You guys know my internet's been great over the last few 6 months, whatever. I definitely pissed some sensors off is what happened, so let's talk about Russell Brand. Okay, so we just went through the whole symbolism thing, right? Now check this out. He's sitting here preaching to you about God because that's who he is now since he, found the Lord. But check out what's in the background and that he really wants to make sure you see is in the background. So when I just said they send messages to each other, this is Russell sending a message to his handlers.
Hey, I learned from J. John that Christmas is Christ with us. Easter is Christ for us. And Pentecost is Christ within us, inside us. And it makes me think, as a new Christian, like that the Christian calendar either gets banalized, paganized, commercialized, or nullified, as if the Christian life is somehow boring, dull, and empty, and tedious. But the radical life of a Christian ultimately is the acceptance that the material world's never going to provide a solution, and it's going to require a spiritual awakening if we're going to change the world in the way that we all know that we need to. Oh, how beautiful that this is open to all of us. How beautiful that in his eyes, at least, we are all equal, part of one human family. How many social and political problems.
You need to hush. Hush, 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 hush. We all know it's a freaking act, Russell, and that you're just trying to cover your ass because you got caught, and hopefully he can use this defense in court, right? I'm a changed man. I found the Lord. And I love this meme down here. Clown World Survivor. We are all Clown World Survivors, aren't we? Because this is the dumbest possible timeline ever imaginable. And Christmas. So David Icke tweeted out, Christmas is a pagan or a pre-Christian midwinter festival that the Roman Saturnalia, or festival of Saturn worship, a major Roman god of agricultural harvest and time. Easter is found on pre-Christian spring, rebirth, fertility festivals. As one article said, around 200 BCE, the mystery cult of the goddess symbol was popular in Rome. Another goddess of renewal and spring had a lover named Attis, who was born a virgin and died and was reborn every spring. As Christianity rose to prominence alongside those pagan beliefs, elements of the celebrations of all these deities became intertwined with the Christian narratives of Jesus and death and renewal. And I actually, absolutely, you guys know I love history. I'm always freaking watching, just crazy shit about history. And so I brought you guys a little clip about this. Do you know that they believed that Saturn actually was very close to Earth before a cosmic shift? And that you could see Saturn very prominently from the Earth back in these civilization days. And that is why they worship Saturn. But Saturn also represents Lucifer and Luciferianism. So it's all, like the Freemasons in their ritual book, which I've seen and read. It's all about Saturn and, the first star, the Lucifer. But do you guys ever watch Woodward TV? Jilly, I know you watch Woodward TV. I really like this guy. And he does a lot of good deep dives into stuff, too. I brought you a lot of his stuff over the years. He's the one who taught us about the creatine, or what is it called, that's in bugs. If you eat bugs that the body can't handle. I mean, he's taught us some good stuff over the years. So here's just a little clip. He happened to drop this weekend, so clinky dink, I don't know. Come on, play.
Interesting, if we look at mythology, Saturn's rule came to an end when he was overthrown by his son Jupiter. Saturn was cast out, creating a theme of exile and separation from the divine order. Now, Talbot and Thornhill interpret this mythic fall as an ancient memory of a cosmic event, because the story of Saturn is so weird, like many other stories of gods. Saturn's destabilization and movement away from the Earth, possibly due to gravitational interactions with other celestial bodies, because in the story, Saturn eats his children as they are born and then regurgitates them later. Jupiter, at some point, is hidden from Saturn. So in this view, the myth of Saturn's overthrow by Jupiter reflects actual changes in the planetary configuration. As Saturn was displaced, the conditions on Earth shifted. And of course, we know that there were real planetary changes that disrupted early civilizations. Then there is the Roman festival Saturnalia, which some link to Christmas. And they celebrated Saturn with a temporary reversal of social roles and a loosening of norms. Slaves and masters exchanged places, and societal constraints were lifted. It was supposed to be a temporary return to the golden age under Saturn's rule. But of course, doing whatever you want and ending the night in a drunken orgy doesn't really represent a society that is in a golden age.
Well, what kind of Christmas party is that? I've had a few of those, actually. What these people believe is just freaking insane, right? I had to throw a diddler in here because, you know, what symbolism wouldn't be complete without somebody who was actually in control. And, you know, when somebody goes down like Epstein or Diddy, there's a reason for it. They've pissed off the hierarchy and they are being sacrificed. So what did Diddy do? Well, Diddy sued the Sriracha, or what is it? What is that? Vodka that he's always that he's owned part of. He sued them for some kind of racism for like $100 million, and he won, and it pissed them the fuck off. So that is why he is sitting in Rikers Island right now.
I'm going to take your souls. We have the power. We decide what's hot. If we don't go, nobody goes. If we don't support, nobody supports. We control what's cool. We control what's hot. We control what your kids listen to, what they dance to. We control what's in video games. We control how they wear their pants, sag their pants. We control everything.
They do. They do. Not a shock there. So, okay, moving on. Let's see. Woman's bombshell testimony to Congress claiming Matt Gaetz had sex with her when she was 17 revealed day after Trump nominated him for Attorney General. Yeah, this is old news. Where have the fucking Democrats been? Like, we already knew this shit about Gaetz. This is nothing new, right? This guy just looks like Howdy Doody to me, man. I gotta find me my old Howdy Doody memes for this guy. And Justin Trudeau, Kate, I brought you this one. Justin acting like the frickin' dictator that he is. Check it out.
Canadians know this is a question of right or wrong. Canadians know that, yes, it is incredibly hard for Ukraine to continue to stand against a Russian aggression. And let's be honest, it's hard for the democracies around the world who are there to support their citizens, who are investing for the future, who are challenged with a challenging economy around the world to continue to step up as Canada has with close to $9 billion in aid for Ukraine. But we will, because the cost on Canadians, on our lives, on our world will be so much greater if Putin wins this war that we will and have to stand every single day until Ukraine wins this war.
Oh my God. So we know where Canada stands. You guys are totally down for the long-range missile World War III thing. Yay. Yeah. Is he Fidel Castro's son? I think he is. I absolutely think he is. That is one of those conspiracies I actually believe. Oz dropped this one for us. We're getting graced with Trump's owner. Now, this is who owns Trump. This is Marison Adelson. Yeah. This is, check it out.
President Trump deserves the full support of the entire Jewish people and of anyone who cares about Israel's security and prosperity.
This is Miriam Adelson, a wealthy Republican mega donor. She's pledged over $100 million to support Donald Trump's third White House bid. Miriam is the widow of casino billionaire Sheldon Adelson, a major donor to the Republican Party and Israel. The Adelsons backed Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, his Likud party, and opposed Palestinian statehood. They also supported illegal Israeli settlements in occupied territories. The couple had previously donated $90 million during the 2020 presidential election, and also backed Trump's campaign for election in 2016. But it's not just Trump and the Republicans. Democrats, including Vice President Kamala Harris, are also supported by the powerful Israel lobby. Kamala Harris has previously received funds from the American Israel Public Affairs Committee. Her campaign war chest includes donations from pro-Israel billionaires. In the 2023-24 congressional cycle, 214 Democratic candidates received $23.16 million from pro-Israel groups. AIPAC's United Democracy Committee also spent $8.4 million to unseat Congresswoman Cori Bush from the Democratic primary in Missouri over her vocal support for Palestine. AIPAC plans to spend $100 million in 2024 targeting candidates they consider not supportive enough of Israel, according to Politico. About 82% of Congress members are pro-Israel, with $125,000 in support during the last election. Only 9% back Palestine, receiving just $18,000. No matter who wins the White House, Israel always wins in the United States.
That is true. Oh, thanks, Oz. I mean, we already knew that. It didn't need to be reiterated, but yeah, we knew it. Totally knew it. That is who owns Trump, and that is where these cabinet picks is actually coming from. They're dictating to Trump who could be. That's how we ended up with Mark Rubio. Chris Hedges had a really good interview this week too, I think.
I mean, how much damage do you think Iran can inflict on Israel? Israel's a small country. I think it has a population of 6 million. What does Iran have? 90 million? I mean, I can't remember. It's big.
In the river and the sea, about 14 million Israeli citizens, 7 million plus are Palestinian, and 7 million, not quite as much, are Jews. Very small, not as small as Gaza, where they're dropping all that ordnance. Just putting the military template on it and saying how many casualties. That ordnance, that concrete, that rebar, those streets, those buildings, the template puts down on the terrain and says, with great accuracy, how many casualties? It's 200,000. Guarantee it's not 40 or 50,000. The template says it's well north of 100,000. And we'll not know because you won't find some of these people. They're buried so deeply under rubble. If Israel were to really be attacked by the full weight of Iran, it would be a nightmare for Israel.
Yes, it absolutely would be. And, these guys like Tulsi just, we got to attack Iran. We got to attack them. We got to attack them. They're the threat, the Islamic threat to the world. They want to take over the world, right? Total Islamophobe. Are you smartphone? I forgot to mention. Yeah, I'm on a smartphone. I have a smartphone. Let's see. Moving on. This one's a good one. I had to add this one this morning. Alan Dershowitz decided to take on a group of protesters and try to sell them his new book. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. You can't make this shit up. Check this out. Yeah, where'd my mouse go? There we go. Come on, play.
What did you do on Epstein's Island? What did you and your wife do on Epstein's Island?
Read this book. Find out the lies that these people are telling.
What did you and your wife do on Epstein's Island? Do you regret going to Epstein's Island?
And don't listen to these anti-Semites.
Do you regret going to Epstein's Island? What did your wife do on Epstein's Island?
Let me get a picture of you so I can sue you.
Oh, whoa.
Pedophile! 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 Pedophile!
He's gonna sue them all.
I like your dick on my head.
You like it? Don't push me, brother. Get off my...
Nazi terrorists!
Oh my gosh. So Alan Dershowitz wants to sue all of them. Good luck with that, Alan. And remember, he kept his underwear on. Yeah, he was a good guy. He just got a massage and that was it. Wasn't that a good time? I thought that was fun this morning. I was like, oh, isn't this funny? And moving on. I'm not sure what this is, but I remember it angered me if I remember right. Let's check it out. Oh, Mike Hucklebee's back. That's right.
As you well know, I've never been willing to use the term West Bank. There is no such thing. I speak of Judea and Samaria. I tell people there is no occupation. It is a land that is occupied by the people who have had a rightful deed to the place for 3,500 years, since the time of Abraham. So a lot of the terms that maybe the media would use, or even people against Israel would use, are not terms that I employ, because I want to use terms that live from time immemorial. And those are the terms like Promised Land and Judea, Samaria. These are biblical terms. And those are important to me. And so I will continue to follow that nomenclature unless I'm instructed otherwise, but I don't think that'll
Instructed
happen.
by your APEC handler? That's right. He just said, unless he's instructed otherwise, meaning somebody instructs him. I wonder who instructs him. Wonder who it could be. You guys got any guess? So Mike Hucklebee's back. It was nice that he was gone for a while. I'm sure we'll see his bulldog daughter back in the mix too for Trump, because she's a good supporter of Trump, always has been. And moving on, this I did like. This was somewhere in Canada, Toronto. I want to say this was Toronto. Check these protesters out. That's right. Just showing off what exactly is happening in Palestine. Nothing but blood and carnage. Of the average age child, 5 to 9 years old. That's who they're killing in Israel. That's right. Or in Palestine. Israel is a threat to the world. Absolutely. We agree. Fee says, what has Fee said? Yeah, I saw you guys saw they changed the name of Convo Couch, right? What did they change it to? Tell me in the chat. I can't remember. I know I always follow, but you guys know, I've been sick and busy. So Fee says, while U.S. presidents transition in and out, Israel's barbarianism continues in Gaza and Lebanon. This time, Zionist targeted population residential areas in Beirut. Israel also killed Hezbollah public figures and media spokesman Mohammed Afif, and local to the area. Check this out. I mean, these are just residential homes or residential apartment buildings in Beirut that Israel is bombing. There's no sound with this one, but just check that out. Look at the level of fucking carnage, because they didn't do enough damage in Palestine or in Gaza. So let's just start bombing Beirut too. Why not? Good one, Fee. And this is just so this is a couple, and we're going to see more and more of this in the United States. This couple is in a fast food joint somewhere here in America, and they happen to be wearing some pro-Palestinian clothing, flag, whatever, coffee. And this woman is so offended by it, she has to assault them. Check this out.
What are you doing? What the shit? What the shit? Stop. Stop.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Now I'm going to call the police.
Call the police.
Call the police. Call the police.
Stop. You're gonna hit a pregnant woman?
No.
Get away from my wife. What the hell is your problem?
Can you call the police?
Get away. Get away. Go.
They're wearing hoodies.
What's your problem?
What's your problem? Your problem.
Can you get away from my wife? I'll punch you. Get away from me.
I'm gonna fight you too.
Punch me.
Okay.
Punch me. What the hell?
These people are out of their fucking mind.
You okay?
Bitch does that to me in a Pantera fucking bread or Panera, whatever it's called. I'm gonna lay her ass out. She put her hands on me fucking first. That is crazy. What do you guys think? How would you guys handle that? Would you just keep pushing her off, and then she's the one screaming, I'm calling the cops. Bitch, you're the one who assaulted them first. Are you insane? Yeah, this is the rhetoric that we get from mainstream fucking media. Yeah, there's baby murderers for sure. And moving on, Warren says she supports Sanders' bid to block Israel's weapon deal. Oh, isn't that awful white of her? And the failure by the Biden administration to follow U.S. law and to suspend arms shipment is a grave mistake, she says. Yeah, this was the 15th. She getting on the right side of history for a few seconds? Nah, don't worry, she won't stay there. In Syria, a militia armed by the Pentagon fighting those armed by the CIA, taxpayers. Yeah, that's just about the fucking truth of it. We pay for all sides of these fights, and we get nothing. Failing infrastructure, that's what you get, and more taxes. Okay, let's move on to some TDS. That's right. It's time to check out Joyanne Reed and what she was losing her mind over this weekend. What was it? I'm sure it has to involve Trump.
It is a common feature of authoritarianism and fascism that the nation is called to come together under the autocrat and accept that his incompetent lackeys are our betters. The idea that any random white guy or right-thinking woman with zero background is inherently superior to any black person or woman, no matter how many degrees or qualifications they have, is a conceit of fascism and ethno-nationalism that, no, we cannot come together around. We cannot come together around mass deporting millions of immigrants and potentially separating families or throwing them into internment camps. We can't come together around kicking women or gay, bi, or trans people out of the military just because Macho Man weekend TV guys said so. We cannot come together around Elon Musk, who runs an app infused with racism and misogyny and who gained that app to sway an election and now essentially co-owns a president alongside Vladimir Putin. Joe Biden is perfectly free to come together with Trump and the people who literally 3 days ago were calling him every name in the book because he's the president and therefore immune from prosecution by our soon-to-be autocrat under John Roberts' rules for American kings. So he has the privilege of coming together with the guy who quoted Hitler on his way back to the White House. Some of us do not have the privilege to come together around that.
Telling you to support that regime not too long ago. Isn't that funny? She just totally said we can't prosecute Biden. And he wants to play nice with them that he has the privilege to do that, but we don't. Watching them pivot so quickly is kind of amusing. Moving on. In the media, Democrats and Republicans in reality, the working class. That is the reality. It's us against them, and them is one big fucking club, and we pretend like it's not. Everybody pivoted, and yeah, it was great. Go ahead and vote for Biden or Trump because he was the lesser evil, and he was. In some aspects, he was, and we were hoping we get a little influence in there, like RFK Jr. when it comes to poisoning our food. But that's all we can hope for. It's one giant frickin' clown car, and they screw the working class, us at the very bottom of it, and it's going to continue to stay that way. So let's stop pretending like there's sides. The only sides there are is us and them. Jen Psaki gets the fuck off pie for Monday morning. Why is that? Let's see. Let's find out. Come on, mouse. There we go.
One of the things that's changed even since I got involved in politics is just the rise of the percentage of people who get their information off of platforms that have no fact-checking mechanism and no accountability for having disinformation spread, right? Right. And as you know well, and I mean, when I got started in Democratic politics, most of it was like local TV ads. That was what it was about. Obviously, national TV, local print. Those local TV is held to a higher standard of accountability than social media platforms in terms of having accurate information on their platforms. That is crazy. And so it is. How does it change? How are people held to account? Laws have to change.
I want to ask you about one thing that's gotten some attention this week from the book, which was a story you told about President Biden looking at his watch after caskets had come back from Afghanistan. The story was not told completely accurately, which you've acknowledged. I know some of the folks, including some of the families of those soldiers who were upset by that.
Oh my God. Yeah. I told that story. Jen Psaki, fuck off. Take one cup of no one cares, a dash of kiss my ass, and some fuck yous, and a pinch of blow me, and stir and shove straight up your ass. That is your fuck off pie for Monday morning. Definitely well deserved. Definitely well deserved. I think she might be a 2-time honoree. Maybe more. Trying not to suck any dicks on the way to the parking lot. You're one to talk, Trump, but that is kind of funny. Telling Mitt Romney not to suck any dicks. Look at me, Democrats. I am the conspiracy theorist now. Yeah, that has been fun to watch, how the Democrats now are the ones toting all the conspiracies about the Trump administration and the Trump people. How much fun is it when they pivot? Did you guys see this? America's mom, Klobuchar, was hanging out with baby Soros this week. weekend. So Steph Zamorano says, what's so wrong about Amy Klobuchar hanging out with Soros while smearing RFK Jr.? I don't know. What's so wrong with it? There he is hanging out with his new girlfriend, Uma Abedin. What? Isn't she the former Hillary Clinton ritualistic? Remember the Comet Pizza video where they were torturing supposedly a child? Yeah. Supposedly, allegedly, YouTube. Allegedly. Anyways, you can't make this clown show up. And yeah, you know, I'm glad she's moved on since Anthony Weiner's day. And Pentagon failed 7th audit in a row, but some progress has been made. Some progress has been made. What are you guys bitching about? Yeah, we never get audited, and when we do get audited, it's not a real audit, and we can't even fail the fake audit, so fuck it. Why are we even trying? Taxpayers and America. Yeah, that's it. The government, man. That is the government we're all having on our back right now. Taxation is theft, and we all know it. Moving on. What do we got here? Oh, this is Vivek. So what do you guys think of this doggy coin, right? So doggy is the new Department of Government Efficiency. This is Elon's new role. Him and Vivek Ramaswamy are in charge of it, but doesn't it happen to be a coincidence that Elon's new digital currency is also called a doggy coin? Wow. What? It's almost like they planned it this way. Check it out.
I want to get your take on how this begins. Sure. What are you looking to cut right from the beginning?
So first is we want to go right in through executive action to do the failures of the executive branch that need to be addressed. Because the dirty little secret right now, Maria, is the people we elect to run the government, they're not the ones who actually run the government. It's the unelected bureaucrats in the administrative state. That was created through executive action. It's going to be fixed through executive action. Think about the Supreme Court's environment over the last several years. They've held that many of those regulations are unconstitutional at a large scale. Rescind those regulations, pull those regs back, and then that gives us the industrial logic to then downsize the size of that administrative state. And the beauty of all of this is that can be achieved just through executive action without Congress. Score some early wins, and then you look at those bigger portions of the federal budget that need to be addressed one by one. So I think that's one way to think about this is how can the President of the United States, who's been elected with a historic mandate, actually do the thing that the voters have voted for? They haven't voted for incremental change here this time, Maria. We have voted for sweeping change, and the voters actually deserve to get it. And we're focused on how to do that as early and as quickly as possible.
So President-elect Trump just said on that soundbite that you're going to make recommendations. So you're going to make recommendations in terms of where to cut after all that you've just said. Then what?
Look, we're not going to be cutting ribbons. We're going to be cutting costs. And so those recommendations are going to be on a real-time basis. But I do want to take a big step back and understand, for people to understand the scope of this problem. Over $500 billion that's spent every year right now was not even authorized by Congress in the first place. The Pentagon has just failed its 7th consecutive audit, nearly $1 trillion of budget. They can't even tell you where it goes. So I think part of this is exposing for the public the extent of that rot and waste, but then to take steps first through executive action and then laying the groundwork for broader change through legislation as well to rein in that deficit, to rein in that budget. And more crucially, Maria, I know we're talking about this in terms of efficiency, but there's something deeper going on here. This is about restoring self-governance and accountability in America as well.
Are you expecting to close down entire agencies, like President Trump has talked about the Department of Education, for example? Are you going to be closing down departments?
We expect mass reductions. We expect certain agencies to be deleted outright. We expect mass reductions in force in areas of the federal government that are bloated. We expect massive cuts among federal contractors and others who are overbilling the federal government. So yes, we expect all of the above. And I think people will be surprised by, I think, how quickly we're able to move with some of those changes, given the legal backdrop the Supreme Court has given us.
They're not going to delete any of the frickin' agencies that we want them to delete. Come on. This was very well rehearsed. He was on the ball. He knew what he was going to say. And yeah, we'll just watch it play out. And are you going to invest in Doggy Coin? You might be smart too. Probably smarter than Bitcoin, right? Moving on. on. By the time I'm 67, over $600,000 will be paid into hashtag Social Security on my behalf. That money would have been worth $1.9 million if I had gotten a 5% return. My annual investment would have been $95K. The government promises me $3,075 a month at 67, which is $37K a year. How is this not theft? It absolutely is theft, and they're the ones making the profit off of those investments for all of those years. But you are too irresponsible to know what to do with your own money for retirement. I used to be a part of the communist mind hive and thinking that, we got to let the government take care of us when we get old. The fuck that. Give me my money and let me invest it myself. I would have done a better job than any of you asshats ever did. At a time where people should be rising up in solidarity against corrupt politicians and bankers, people instead are pointing the blame at their victims, the unemployed, the underpaid, and the homeless. Absolutely. And the most basic form of mind control is repetition. So obey. Yes. Did you guys see this shit? So we've decided, and this is from Secretary Anthony Blinken. So he went to Lima, Peru this weekend to do a partnership and drop off some of our garbage. So today we announced the United States will support the city of Lima in building a new passenger train line that will expand access to reliable and affordable transportation for nearly 200,000 people every single day. But fuck you, America. You do not get fast, reliable rail. But we'll give these guys some of our old rails. Yes, that's right. It ain't new. It's old. Check it out.
So this is an exciting day in our partnership. The United States will support the city of Lima as it develops a new passenger train line that's going to connect downtown to the eastern suburbs. The Caltrain rail system in California contribute more than 100 high-quality rail cars and engines. And American companies will provide over 50% of the services for this project and the supplies for this project. When it's finished, this rail line will expand access to reliable, affordable transportation for some 200,000 passengers every single day.
Yeah. Okay. So on further check, I was like, what the fuck? We're going and we're building trains, railways in the global south, but we are not doing shit for us. I mean, when was the last time any of us rode a fucking train? I haven't been on a train since the 90s. Well, it turns out that it's our garbage. We don't even use